is a CBS 4 Hurricane Dorian update.
Good afternoon, Craig Setzer in CBS 4 Weather Control. It's 3 o'clock here now. Live TV, things kind of happen a little bit unscripted. In fact, all of this is unscripted. Nothing to read here, just talking about what's going on. First off, right behind me, I think that just, the expression about picture speaks 1,000 words, this one must speak 10,000, because that is a very, very ominous looking picture there as Category 5 Dorian is moving slowly across the Bahamas just to our east. Literally a destructive buzzsaw right now, slowly cutting through the Bahamas. Feel very, very concerned for the well-being of the people there, for the folks, for their livelihoods, for everything. And I think once this gets by, great humanitarian effort will need to take place for the Northwest Bahamas there. Just my heart goes out to them. As far as we're concerned, of course, we are watching with great anticipation. Now, there is an update that came in at 3 o'clock. We call these ones tropical cyclone updates. And one thing to note for all of you who are following very, very closely, we're paying attention to that latitude number there, because the latitude tells us how far the storm is north or south, and we are really close to that 26-degree latitude. So that 26.6, that's 7 miles approximately further north. And you may say, 7 miles? What's 7 miles? Well, we need 7 miles and another 7 miles, another 7 miles. We need those to add up. So every little tick up in that 26.6 number there, that's not a bad thing. There is the motion still to the west at 7, and the pressure very, very low. Usually there is a relationship between the pressure and the wind. The lower the pressure, the stronger the winds, and you can see those winds are extremely strong. Me, as well as I think almost everybody, we have no way to conceptualize what 185-mile-an-hour winds are like, especially with a slow-moving storm and a long duration going through the eye wall there. That is very, very frightening. Let's briefly talk about the cone. There's no changes to it. Of course, this is the same cone, and we will get a new cone at 5 p.m., but the cone doesn't show anything except where the center is expected to be. And you can see the center of the storm is not expected to hit South Florida, but the effects outside of the cone are expected to hit South Florida. The storm much, much bigger than the cone at this point. There's a quick look at wind speed probabilities zipping off to the north there. I wanted to get to this because there is Dorian showing up on the radar now. You can see Dorian just inching along there in the outer islands of the Abacos there, now going through Great Guanacay. The eye wall there bearing down on Green Turtle. The Marsh Harbor is in the eye right now. And of great concern would be that the winds are going this way around the storm. So as that eye passes, there's going to be tremendous storm surge going on following that passage of that eye. As far as we're concerned here, we're starting to see some of the outer bands just now showing up. Very quick moving and gusty rain showers that are moving from north to south. Now, real briefly, I want to show this again because it got a lot of response. People looking for this using this graphic. This is our timing of the tropical storm force winds, and we call this the most likely because the odds are that 50% of the time when this yellow area gets to you, you are in tropical storm force winds. So let's go forward here through the night. This is overnight tonight. This is 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. And you can see the likelihood of tropical storm force winds reaching the coast there in Palm Beach County. And then by 6 a.m. starting to get into Broward County. And then by 9 a.m. now touching the northeast tip of Miami-Dade. But as we go forward, if you pay attention to this part right there, it doesn't go much more to the southwest because the storm is expected to slow down and then begins to slowly move north. So that's about the closest approach. But then as we go through time here, there's 3 p.m. And then as we go into 6 p.m., it hasn't moved much more west, but it hasn't moved any east. So the thinking would be, based on that, that this is a long duration event. Unlike Irma, which was big, so we had to get through the entire span of the storm getting through. Dorian is small, but moving very slow, so we're going to have to get through it from a kind of a slow motion point of view. So that's our 6 p.m. I think that's going to be probably the worst of the weather the onset of the worst of the weather, basically when the worst of the weather is here, still through 9 p.m., still through 11 p.m., still through 3 a.m., still through 6 a.m., still through 9 a.m., and then it starts to pull away from us. That's noon on Tuesday, that's 3 p.m. on Tuesday, there is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and there it goes out of here. So that's the latest update. No changes to the intensity of Dorian with the 3 p.m. update, and we'll have another update at 4 o'clock, and anything that we need to cover, we will break right in and bring it to you right away, right here on CBS 4 News. Stay tuned.